Man, who that is?
Shout out Migos, shout out Zaytoven one time.
Drink at the Versace store.
Yeah. Versace.
Whenever you're ready, Kurt. What's up, guys? This is Ed Tierney along with Kurt Forsyth for our Week 6 post-game recap. The big story is after we had a bunch of blowouts was the Champion Classic last night in college basketball. Kurt, you watched Jabari Parker taking on Andrew Wiggins. Talk to me about that.
Unfortunately, I did not watch that game.
Okay, so
I was
we will
a little preoccupied, but I will let you give us a recap.
Okay. It was last night, but great game. Parker had it early. Wiggins had it late. Kansas won. Let's get to these games. Game number 1 was Disrespected taking on
Rock Nation.
Rock Nation, yes. That game looked close early. Got out of hand late.
It was.
What'd you see in Rock Nation?
Rock Nation got out to a slow start.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that seems to be their
Their-
typical thing against teams like Disrespect.
Is that because they play down to their level, or
I just
they
think they
just
play a little. They just play a little
sloppy?
careless overall. I mean, then in the second half, it was like a completely different team.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, they were moving, they were running, they were passing, and that's kind of when the game got out of hand. Otherwise, at halftime, it looked like it might have been a close game.
who shined for Disrespected? Even though they lost handily, they had to get
It
points
was
somewhere.
really like a team effort for the most part. But Gail did have some pretty
Good old
big
Gail.
cutbacks.
Good old Gail.
She works hard, and people
She earns
underestimate her.
her,
so.
her buckets.
Yeah.
So the other game was the game of the night. Vivid Solar taking on Rock versus the Monstars.
Hmm.
That series all time is 2 wins for Monstars, 1 win for Vivid
I
Solar.
think it's always been within 5
It's
points
always
or so.
close. Yep, always a close game. Monstars won the last 2, including one in the postseason. Great game. What'd you see?
I saw 2 teams playing extremely tough. Then we also had those 2 new refs, which everybody seems to love.
Yeah.
And they were making some great calls. They let them play a little bit on the physical side. But, I mean, they kind of let the players decide the game, which
Yeah.
is all you can really ask for.
What I saw is 2 teams that know and expect to be in the Final Four or even the championship game.
Right.
I think that is going to be a playoff. Hopefully, it's a playoff matchup.
Mm-hmm.
If not, maybe I don't know who gets knocked off if it's not, but
It's always a good regular season game.
always a great regular season game. Late in the game, questionable call on a turnover, originally awarded to Vivid Solar, overturned going to the Monstars. Ryan McPherson hits a 3 off that inbound, and they win by 1.
Mhm. But that's
very
that's
questionable.
sports. That's sports.
That is sports.
That's
Yeah,
sports.
that is sports. But great game.
Unfortunate, yeah.
Fortunate. Second tier of games, we had Straight Raw taking on UOENO. Close game to start.
Didn't end that way.
Didn't end that way. Jordan Marcus, like usual, had a great game. Team played very well, but Austin Drakes and Drew Sutton had a very sloppy games at times. John was getting frustrated. Bright spot was Marcus, had a nice hammer, slammed it down late.
I thought they were doing a dunk off when they
It seemed like it because Nick Boyd had a couple of windmills. There was no defense being played. It was like your typical
All-Star game?
Knicks. It was like your 04 Knicks with Mark Jackson and Nazi Muhammad and that crew, if we remember. McDice. So there's no defense being played. But UOENO improves to 5-0.
Hey,
What do you think about
yeah.
UOENO moving forward?
They're, like I said, they've proven themselves that they're an outside shooting team.
Mhm.
They can fill the points up, which they've pretty much done
Yep.
every week.
Yep.
And if you want to beat them, you're going to have to lock them down and score on the other end, which is
Yeah.
going to be difficult.
Curtis Taylor before the game said, "How would they?" No, Jeremy Brown before the game said, "How is UOENO ahead of us?" And I said, "Well, they're 4-0, and now they're 5-0. And until someone beats them, they're going to stay in the top spot."
They will have their opportunity regular season, and if not, hopefully in postseason. So
That's right. And the other thing is, there's always complaints about the schedule or Quiet Storm. They played the teams on their schedule, and last week, as you were there present for the Quiet Storm game, you guys didn't show up. That's
Hey,
but if
it
you
is
guys
what
were
it
to,
is.
are you willing to guarantee on this show right now that if you play again, you guarantee victory?
I guarantee a tough game, a game that's going to be gritty.
All right.
And
Speaking of tough and gritty, let's get to your game. Quiet Storm taking on Hugs and Kisses. I think everyone feels like Hugs and Kisses, if Jesse Steele doesn't score 45 to 50 points, they don't have a good chance of winning.
it's but that's not entirely true.
And they didn't have Antoine tonight. And without Antoine,
I'm sure that makes a difference.
that makes a big difference because he's averaging, I think, 15 and 15, something like
But
that.
it's not. Jesse doesn't always have to score 40.
Mhm.
I mean, if he's passing off and somebody else scores 2 points, that's just as good as him scoring. So
Yep.
I think it's the combination of him scoring and getting assists.
Yeah.
But like everybody that's
Well, then,
playing knows,
when he can't score, it's up to those guys to make the shot.
yeah.
Because he's got doubles, and they make the other teams beat him. And
Hey, well, I don't know his name, but he hit about 2 or 3 threes from the top of the key that were pretty significant. So, I mean, he has some role players, and they just need to step up when given the opportunity.
Henry shot 40 plus tonight. What'd you see in
He's-
Chris? Or what was that? Was that because there was very little defense, or
No, Chris is extremely strong. He's big.
he
he's
benches
got-
like a smart car. I've seen him do it.
and he's got pretty quick feet too.
Yep.
So
Like Caesar Brown, as you told me once. Don't let his size fool you. He's got quick feet. What do you
Yeah.
see in your team? How'd you guys?
we played. I mean, we had some more pieces compared to last week. So obviously,
Well, you actually had pieces.
yes, we had
You
pieces
actually had a
this
full deck
week.
of cards as opposed to
Yeah, but I mean, we had some defensive breakdowns, but
Mhm.
I mean, we're still working on that.
Yep.
So
All right, next week we have some good games as usual. Kurt finally got a smartphone. Congrats! Always good to have you around.
yeah.
Anything left to add?
Well, going into the end of the season, holiday time coming around. Obviously, happy holidays to everybody, but games still count. So,
Here is a big bomb being deployed. Jordan Taylor, the point guard of Vivid Solar, good player, right?
Yeah.
Very good player. He is his girl is expecting a baby out in Arizona
Oh no.
in the beginning of December, so he will
Oh.
not be with us because obviously when the baby is born, he's not going to be like, oh bye, go back for a playoff game.
Family is most
So he
important.
will be out there, beginning of December for a while. So that's a big loss for Vivid Solar.
Well, they'll have to.
Make do. Although they'll fly some guy in from from somewhere else in the country. For Kurt, this is Ed.